How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the Gingium YouTube channel. Today we are going to be working back on the drift truck. As you saw there, the coilovers have arrived. Right here we have some Fortune Auto 500 series coilovers for a Miata. Yep, that's right. These are Miata coilovers. This obviously is not a Miata, but believe it or not, nobody makes coilovers for a B2200 Mazda mini truck. The reason is because, well, from the factory, they are not coil on a spring. They are torsion bar, so you can't really make a coilover for it without having to do a lot of modifications, which is what we're gonna have to do today. We're gonna be removing that shock, putting the coilover there, bolting it into the lower control arm, but we have to make a new mount for the coilover to bolt up to on top, because this little mount, first of all, can't support the weight of a car. Second of all, is obviously not the right bolt pattern. So hopefully by the end of today, we have some custom shock towers in there and the Miata coilovers are all bolted in. I wanna give a huge thanks to Fortune Auto for sponsoring this build with these coilovers. If you guys are looking for some really awesome coilovers for a pretty good price, I highly recommend Fortune Auto. They are my go-to coilover company. I run their coilovers in Molly, I run them in the RX-7. RX-7. I'm running them in the drift truck, and any future build that I do, as long as Fortune Auto makes coilovers for them, I'm running the Fortune Auto coilovers. We also have some other parts finally that have arrived. These are the wheel adapters. This right here will convert our 6-lug hubs up front to our 5-lug wheels. The one major thing that I'm looking for that I can't find is a transmission. So I need your guys' help for that. If any one of you guys have or know of a SR20 DET transmission or a KA transmission or a Z32 transmission for sale in the Chicagoland area, like 200 miles around Chicago, I'm willing to travel like 200 miles. If you know of a transmission, any one of those 3 transmissions for sale, email me at gingiumgaming@gmail.com. I need a transmission for this engine before I can start mocking everything up. So that's the only thing we're waiting for before we can start building motor mounts, mounting the engine, building headers, everything in there, and driving the truck again. So please help me find a transmission. Yay! Before I can start working on this suspension, we have to get this big old beast out of here. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the 1UZ, just kind of plop her over there, and then get to work on the suspension. Shock is only a little blown. No wonder why this thing rode like crap. Holy cow, that's ridiculous. All right, well, one's out. I'm gonna go pull out the other. In order for the coilover to fit, I have to cut that shock mount off right above those bolts right there. Everything above those bolts is not doing anything with the coilovers. And then I also have to cut off the bump stop. Bump stop doesn't matter because coilovers have bump stops built into them. Same thing with the, I don't know what you call those, the rebound stops? I don't know. It's hot. Now I have to cut some of the wheel well to get this coilover in. Problem is that there's a brake line right there, so, what do I do? hopefully fit this coilover up. Still need to cut more. Scratching up these beautiful coilovers. So as you can tell, I cut that little notch right here out of the shock support. So let's see if we can go ahead and put this back together and get the coilover. All right, well, here's a basic idea. Good news is that the coilover is fitting right there. Bad news is that I need to cut more of this, a lot more. So let's get to chopping some more. This is the wheel well before, and that is it after the cut. Nice big boy cut. Hell yeah, boys and girls. Hell yeah. Coilovers are in, look at that, woo! Woohoo! So now we know that the coilovers fit. It works with the upper control arm, with all that stuff, fits in between the frame. It's all good. I've spent a good time looking at how I'm gonna do this shock tower. I think I'm gonna make a main bar out of some square tubing, then weld a flat plate for the top hat to bolt into, and then reinforce the entire thing with some sheet metal onto the frame, onto some other stuff. I was debating whether I wanted to use round tube or square tube. The thing about round tube is that I don't have a proper bender, so I could bend it into a way I wanted it, but then it would have dents and tubes create weak points. Square tubing I can just cut up and weld, but then the strength of the suspension is based off my welds, which I'm pretty confident on, but use dented tubing or use square tubing. I think square tubing will look better as well. So that's why I think we're gonna use square tubing. I'm gonna head over to the metal store to get some metal to build some strut towers. That was a mission success. Got all the metal we need, hopefully. I figured the best way to go about doing this is to put the wheels on the truck, lower the truck to the height that we want, and then build the shock towers based off of that. Real quick before that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off these bump stops right here. Watch. Now you see them, now you don't. Haha, it's magic. Oh, that was actually the hardest thing I've done all day. It was impossible to get an angle grinder in some of those places, so I just had to whack it with a hammer until the welds broke. And I'm exhausted now. So right now, where it's sitting, the truck is perfectly level. The front suspension is sitting about 2 inches higher than the rear suspension. So this is what we are going to build our shock towers off of, because if we build them right where they are now, then when the front suspension compresses, it should compress, a couple inches, and then the truck should be sitting about level, and then we can kind of fine tune the ride height with the actual coilovers themselves. Got a little bit of poke. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but I mean, as you can tell, it's not going to be near low enough to rub, so it won't be a huge issue. Anyway, let's get to building. All right. There we are. This is the first time that I've really focused on getting super accurate measurements, everything the same. This is gonna be holding up a car, a truck, so I spent a lot of time making sure it's good. I'm just gonna go ahead and tack it up for now because I wanna make sure it works, and then we can weld it up. Still need to get myself a welding table. So we got this first main hoop built and tacked up. Kind of sits in there like so, right? As you can tell, it's gonna be welded to the frame and the top hat will be bolted to it. We're gonna go ahead and make a top hat. Center punches are nice. Damn, dude. After a little bit of trimming, it fits. It fits perfectly. There's a little bit of play, so it's easy to get in, but it's not enough play where it's, you know, dangerous. All right, so the coilover is exactly where I want it. The spring is exactly 1 inch and 3/16 away from this right here, and it's about 1/16 of an inch away from the upper control arm. I put it like this, I put it closer to the upper control arm because as the suspension travels, the upper control arm gets farther away from the spring. As you guys can tell, this one is in. Right now it's just clamped to the frame, but the top hat is welded to the main hoop. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make some support braces. We're gonna make a triangle from the frame to the main hoop right there. We're going to make a triangle connecting the main hoop right there. We're gonna put some triangles connecting the top hat to the top of the main hoop, and some triangles connecting the side of the main hoop to the side of the frame. Triangles, triangles. Triangles are strong, triangles are fun, triangles are easy to make. Triangle number 1. Triangles. Of course, I forgot to push record. Good job, me. Woo. Now the rest of the reinforcement can be done out of the car, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this thing out. I didn't completely finish welding it, but it's a good majority of the way welded up. Welds are looking really good. These are probably my best welds so far. Not perfectly straight, but we got some nice dimes. But they are super strong. It was getting nice and red hot, and this metal, it was good. So it should be plenty strong. Now the one weak point of this little thing right now is the top hat. The top hat obviously is only welded on one seam, so it can probably bend quite easily. So our solution to that, more triangles. So I went ahead and made 2 of these little things. These, as you can tell, plop right about there, they get welded to the top hat and to the main bar, and it will prevent the top hat from flexing. So, there we go, that's awesome. Strut tower is all welded up nicely, looking fresh. Welds are good, it's all cleaned up. She's ready to go into the truck. Yeah, I built myself a strut tower. I'd say that's pretty good. It's not amazing, it's not perfect, but hey, it's strong and it's gonna work. I really want to start doing some testing on it. The problem is I can't test it until it's completely welded up. I don't want to completely weld it up until the other side is done and tacked up. Because it would suck to weld this side up and then do the other side and then figure something out, I don't know what, but something that would make me have to redo it all. Cutting it out would be a pain in the butt, so we're gonna wait. I really want to make the second strut tower right now, but I'm just so exhausted. It's like 100 degrees in the shop. I've been working, let's see, yesterday I worked 10 to 10, so I worked 12 hours on this yesterday. Today I worked 10 to 6. That's 8 hours. So I've spent 20 hours on that one strut tower alone. Whew, gosh. It's a lot of really, really hard work, but damn does it pay off, because just look at it. I'm so happy with what I was able to build. And hopefully this is gonna allow the truck to be low, to handle well, and it's just so good. But after working like 20 hours straight on this thing in 100-degree temperatures, my body is just so exhausted. Like walking around is hard. I just kind of feel like crap, so that's why I'm ending here. In the next video, we will finish that other strut tower, and then hopefully we'll have our tires by then. We'll put the tires on, drop this truck on the ground, roll it out into the sun for the first time with the new suspension and the new wheels. So excited. Words can't explain. But guys, if you enjoyed watching this video, if you enjoyed watching me make a strut tower and doing a coilover conversion on this Mazda B2200 soon-to-be drift truck, give it a like. If you didn't enjoy any of that, give it a dislike. Yet again, if you guys know of anyone with those transmissions for sale in the Chicagoland area, please email me so I can buy it. I'm really excited with all the progress that will hopefully be happening soon. After these coilovers, we're gonna put the steering rack in, we're gonna mount the engine, mount the trans, build headers if we need to, put a new fuel system in, brake lines, new brakes, new drive shaft, and that's it. It should run. Oh wait, and then I have to hire someone to wire it up. I'm really hoping to be able to take this thing to a drift event in July. So, wait, it is July. Shit, no, in August. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please put them down in the comment section below. I read all the comments, so all of your feedback and support is greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys next time, so peace out. Later.